A problem that a teacher sometimes faces in the class is that the learners keep using the first language instead of taking the opportunity to use the second language. For example, when they do problem-solving speaking tasks, they use the first language much of the time instead of using the second language, and they're thus defeating the purpose of the task. How can you encourage people to use the second language in the second language classroom? The strategy that you should follow is taking the idea of changing people's attitude by using rules, changing their attitudes by using understanding or reason, and changing their attitudes by getting them involved in the change. Let's see how each of these approaches applies to the problem of getting learners to use the L2, the second language English, in the classroom. If we want to apply the idea of using rules, one way is to have a group monitor when the learners do group work, and one person in the group has the job of making sure that people speak English and reminding people when they speak the first language that they should try and say it in English. Another way is to set up some kind of reward or punishment system where learners are rewarded for using the second language and receive some kind of punishment or demerit for using the first language. You don't want to take this too far, because learners' first language is important to them, but it's simply a way of making sure that they make use of the opportunities that are available for them in the classroom. The second approach of using understanding or reason can involve the teacher explaining how the classroom activities provide opportunities for language use. Some of this can involve teaching them classroom language so that they know the language which is needed to do group work and to communicate with the teacher in English. The teacher should therefore explain the reasons for using and avoiding the use of the L1 so that the learners can see what the teacher is getting at. The third approach to changing attitudes is getting the learners involved and having a say in how they maintain the use of the second language in the classroom. This can involve getting the learners to suggest ways in which they can be encouraged to use the L2. L2 usage in the classroom is sometimes useful, particularly when explaining the meaning of words or the meaning of difficult grammatical constructions. But it's important that learners take the opportunity to use the second language whenever they can, because the practice opportunities outside the classroom are not so great. This approach to changing people's attitudes of using rules or law, reason or understanding, or involvement is a very important way of considering such a problem from many different directions. You can apply this same approach to a range of different problems.